Hi, Daniel and Lillian Grothe here. I did this exercise with my three kids. Lillian's going to be 10 in 2 weeks, and then her brothers Wilson and Wakely, who are 7.5 and 5. And so we read Psalm 13 together, did our Lectio Divina practice, and what we noticed is that 4 times it says, "How long?" How long, O Lord? 4 times. And that stood out to the kids. It stood out to me. And what we discussed is that God doesn't seem to be scared of our questions, that He allows us to name those things. A couple weeks ago we were listening, before Good Friday, listening to a song that I played drums on for a band called The Brilliance. And the song just simply riffs on, "My God, have you forsaken me? Have you forsaken me?" And my 7-year-old son Wilson said, "Dad, you can't say that to God." And I said, "Well, actually, do you know who said that himself on the cross?" And Jesus said that. And really? Yeah, that's right. He said that. And that's taken straight out of Psalm 22:1. And so Jesus on the cross, feeling forsaken, feeling abandoned, feeling bereft, where have you gone, Father? He gives us permission to name those times when we feel that, and Psalm 13 does as well. But on the way to school this morning, we were singing a song by John, Mark, and Sarah McMillan. Many of you probably know it. "You're never going to let me down. You are good." And the bridge is, you're never going to let me down." So I asked Lillian this morning, does that mean that nothing bad is ever going to happen to us?
It doesn't really mean nothing bad is ever going to happen to us right now, because things are going to go the way that you don't want it to, or that you didn't plan.
Mm-hmm.
But when God comes back in the eschaton, he'll make everything right, and that's what they're talking about. They're talking about in the eschaton.
Right.
He's never going to let us down.
That's right.
He's going to come back and make everything right.
The God who raised Jesus from the dead will also raise us with Him when He reappears. And so that's what I love about Psalm 13, is that it ends on this hopeful note. The psalmist, he says 4 times, "How long?" But then he says, "Yet I will trust you. You will bring deliverance. You're going to make it right." And so we have permission to name our pain. We have permission to ask God questions. We have permission to protest. Walter Brueggemann speaks of these lament psalms as acts of rhetorical terrorism against God, that we speak up and the weaker party says to the stronger, "Hey, remember us." So we have permission to do that. But the psalmist, even at the end of this psalm, resolves, and he says, "You know what? Yet I trust in your deliverance." And so this was a great process to walk through with my kids, a great conversation that broke out, and we're thankful for the opportunity. So here's Lillian, here's me, signing off. Have a great night.